Japan is preparing to crush the entire US economy. And this is not just going to be a stock market crash, but it's going to lead to higher mortgage rates, higher auto loans, and even higher credit card interest rates. Nobody thought this is possible, but the system that fueled the US economy over the last 30 years is finally breaking. We are officially entering the danger zone. If you think that this is an exaggeration, just watch this video till the end and it will blow your mind. If you're not ready for such a crisis, you are going to lose. The point of this video is not to scare you, but show you how exactly the system is breaking and how you can prepare yourself. So, give this video a thumbs up and let's get right into it. Japan, for the first time since 1990s, is getting out of deflation. Deflation is when prices are falling down. That might seem like great news, but when prices are falling down, so does your GDP, so is your economy. So you want a healthy inflation where prices are rising so that your economy will continue rising. But the Japanese economy has been having persistent deflation. For the first time since 1990s, inflation in Japan is growing between 2 to 4%, and this poses the greatest threat to the US markets. At first glance, what exactly Japan has to do with the United States? But if you understand how the system works, that's when it's going to blow your mind. Japan is the world's largest creditor, especially to the United States and to the rest of the world, because interest rates in Japan since 1990s have been close to zero. Sometimes they've been negative. Well, if you look at the interest rates in the United States, especially in 1990s, they've been between 5 to 6%. Periodically, interest rates in the United States have fallen down to about 1%, but overall, they have been between 3 to 5% all this time. So imagine you're a Japanese pension fund. What exactly are you going to invest that money? If you invested in Japanese treasuries, you're not getting any return because interest rates in Japan are 0%. So you have no other option but to invest it outside Japan. And the number one option is, of course, the US treasuries. Imagine you are a Japanese company and you're selling hundreds of billions of dollars in the United States. If you bring that money back to Japan, there is nothing to do with that money. You can't be investing that money in the Japanese treasuries because you are going to earn 0% in interest. Which is why over the last 30 years, Japanese banks, Japanese pension funds, Japanese companies have been buying massive US treasuries, which is how Japan became the largest creditor to the United States. But this system on its own strengthened the US dollars and weakens the yen, which reinforces the idea. Imagine if the exchange rate between the United States and Japan is 1 to 100. So a single US dollar equals 100 Japanese yen. Because everybody now is buying US dollars to be able to buy US treasuries, the demand for the US dollar strengthened while they're selling their yen, which means that the demand for the Japanese yen is going down. So over time, a single dollar is going to equal not to 100 yen, but rather to 120 or 150. So these companies that are investing in the United States, they will convert these dollars back into yen. And now because a single dollar equals not 100 yen, but rather 150, in Japanese yen, their profits have soared, which pushed these companies to invest more in the US markets. That's why in early 2000s, the total US treasuries held by the Japanese investments have been about $300 billion. Since then, that number has been skyrocketing and now it stands at about $1.1 trillion. So Japan is not investing in the United States so much because Japan loves the United States, but rather it's a great deal both for the United States and Japan. But here is the problem that we're facing for the first time since 1990s. Because inflation in Japan is rising, so are interest rates on Japanese treasuries. For the first time, the Japanese treasuries have offered a yield of 4.2%. While if you look at the United States treasury yields for 30-year government bonds, you see 4.8%. If you're a Japanese pension fund, what are you going to do? Will you continue investing in the United States or you will invest that money back in Japan? Of course, you will bring that money back to Japan because investing in your own local currency is much safer than investing that money in the United States. That increases the demand for the Japanese yen while the US dollar weakens, which reinforces the idea for the Japanese companies and the Japanese pension funds to invest further in Japan and not in the United States. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say again that the exchange rate between the United States and Japan is 1 to 100. Now, if you are making $100 in the United States, you convert it back to Japanese yen, that's 1,000 yen. If the dollar weakens, let's say by 30%, and now the new exchange rate is where $1 is going to equal to 70 Japanese yen, and you made the exact same $100 in the United States, you convert that money back to Japan, it is going to be simply 700 yen and not 1,000 yen like it was in the past. So because the US dollar is weakening while the Japanese yen is strengthening, it pushes more companies to sell their investments in the United States and bring it back to Japan. Not because they hate the United States, but rather it does not make financial sense to continue investing in the United States. And this is happening for the first time since 1990s. The system only works when the US dollar is strong while the Japanese yen is very weak. If we flip the system, it basically makes no money. It creates two fundamental serious problems. First of all, because it no longer makes economic sense, Japan will no longer be buying US debt. While US debt on one side is growing and Japan has been the largest creditor to the United States, now the demand for the US treasuries has weakened. Secondly, if the dollar continues to weaken, which the United States plans to do so, that is literally what Donald Trump has publicly said, that the dollar is very strong and we have to weaken it. That means that the Japanese companies that hold about $1.1 trillion of US treasuries, they have no other choice but to sell these investments, which is going to increase massively the supply of US treasuries in the market, which is going to lead their yields to spike. And if you think this is the biggest problem, then you have no idea about the magnitude of the real problem, because this is just one small part of the problem. Here is the mother of all crushes. Because Japan has been the world's largest creditor since interest rates in Japan have been very low, while yields on the US treasuries have been substantially higher than the yields on the Japanese bonds, imagine what Wall Street have been doing all this time. So take a US hedge fund that is in Wall Street. They see that interest rates in Japan are 0%, which means that they can borrow money from Japan at 0% interest rate, and they can take that money and invest it in the US treasuries. So these companies and hedge funds have been making trillions of dollars over the last 30 years by simply borrowing from Japan and buying US treasuries. They're essentially borrowing money at 0% from Japan and investing them in very safe investments such as Apple, Nvidia, Google. We know for a fact that these companies are monopolies in the United States and their stock prices will continue rising as long as their profits and revenues will grow. And since you have a monopoly on the entire industry, it is very natural to expect that the revenues of Google, Nvidia, and Apple will continue rising. Just think about that for a moment. These companies have been printing money out of nothing. Just borrow from Japan and buy US treasuries. Pay back Japan 1% or 0.5% interest rate and pocket the 2%. And the funniest part is that we don't know for a fact how much US hedge funds, US banks, US companies have borrowed over the last 30 years and invested in the United States. The lowest estimate is $550 billion, while the highest estimate is about $14 trillion. Imagine for a moment if the $14 trillion number is accurate. So $14 trillion of US debt that are being held by the US companies right now are at the mercy of the Japanese banks. The moment Japan raises interest rates and it no longer makes sense to borrow money from Japan because the gap in interest rate between Japan and the United States is closing, if you're a hedge fund in Wall Street, it no longer makes sense. So in order to pay your debt back in Japan, you have to sell your US treasuries, take that principal, and pay it back to Japan. So we are literally looking into trillions of dollars of US treasuries to be sold just to close these positions. If Japan raises interest rates to 3%, while interest rates in the United States are also 3%, you're never going to take this risk because there is a risk in exchange rate, which is why if you're a hedge fund in Wall Street, you want to close that position before that happens. Otherwise, you stand to lose trillions of dollars. That's exactly why the entire world right now is freaking out since interest rates in Japan is rising. And as long as inflation in Japan keeps rising, the Bank of Japan has no other option but to continue increasing interest rates because you don't want to see hyperinflation in your country. But here is exactly how it's going to crush the stock market. Imagine there is a hedge fund that borrows 1 billion yen from Japan. And let's say that the exchange rate at this particular moment is $1 equals to 160 Japanese yen. And the total amount of debt converted to the US dollars is going to be $6.25 million. But in order to get that debt, you must put a collateral. When you're getting a mortgage, your house is the collateral. So if God forbid you can't pay off that mortgage, the bank can take that house, sell it because it's a collateral, and pay back your mortgage. So the hedge fund is going to put collaterals worth $6.25 million to the Japanese bank. That could be US stocks, or that could simply be US treasuries, because the hedge fund wants to take this money invested in the United States. Now, let's say the yen strengthens and the US dollar weakens, and the new exchange rate between the United States and Japan is $1 equals to 140 Japanese yen. Now, suddenly, nothing actually happened, but because the exchange rate has changed, the real value of the debt in the US dollar is now $7.14 million. It is still the exact same billion yen, but because the yen became stronger, the total value of the debt in the US dollar is worth $6.14 million. But because the collateral that the hedge fund has offered to the Japanese creditor is either US stocks or the US treasuries, it's still worth $6.25 million. But now the total size of the debt has grown to $7.14 million, which means that the bank is going to call the hedge fund in the United States and tell him, listen, either you are going to put more collateral or you have to sell your positions before I automatically liquidate your position. So the hedge fund in the United States either have to sell US treasuries or the US stocks to pay back the Japanese bank. That's what we call a margin call. When the hedge fund gets the margin call and sells their investments, it is going to lead to a stock market fall. The more the US market falls, or the more the value of the US treasuries fall, the less valuable are going to be the collateral that these hedge funds has offered to the Japanese creditor, which means that this hedge fund now has to sell more of their assets in the United States to pay the creditor in Japan. It basically turns into this never-ending loop until the entire stock market collapses. So this is happening because trillions of dollars that are right now invested either in the US stock market or the US bond market are the money that is being borrowed from Japan. If that wasn't the case, this wouldn't be a problem. But because this is the case and this is already happening right in front of us, investors are freaking out and they don't want the dollar to continue weakening, because if it continues weakening, then all of these hedge funds across the United States are going to get margin calls. Not just the hedge funds, but even largest banks in the country, such as JP Morgan. And if banks start going out of business, just like in 2008, they will take down with them the rest of the US economy. The real question is, at the end of the day, what exactly that means for you. First of all, higher cost of borrowing both for the government and you. When you borrow money, what determines the interest rates on that debt is supply and demand. If there are so many people who want to lend you money, then the cost of borrowing is going to be lower. Well, if there aren't many people that want to lend you money, then you might actually offer a higher interest rate to be able to borrow money. And because Japan no longer can be the largest creditor to the United States, that first of all means higher cost of borrowing for the US government. And if interest rates for the government is going to rise, that is going to impact the rest of the economy, because the government is the safest borrower, which means that interest rates across the country are going to rise. That includes your mortgage, auto loans, credit card loans, you name it. That also leads to a higher cost of living, because a weaker dollar on one side is going to make it much more expensive to import things. And Japan is one of the largest exporters to the United States. So everything that will be coming from Japan is simply going to be a lot more expensive. That includes cars, electronics, you name it, whatever the US imports from Japan. In fact, because the US dollar is weakening against all major currencies, it basically increases the cost of living everything that is being imported to the United States. And the US economy annually imports about $4 trillion worth of goods, and all of them are going to be substantially more expensive. If you want to know which stocks I will be buying to protect myself from this crisis, check out the Investing Academy. I will be posting there exactly what I will be buying and what I will be selling.